back. In this video, we're going to be going over the Paycheck Protection Program, otherwise known as PPP. Updates, rules, applications, new guidance. Putting a description below, that way you guys can follow along and see what it is that I'm seeing as we gather all the documents that we need to have you apply for the PPP for your small business. So let's not waste any time. Just kidding. Also, if you're new to the channel, thank you so much for joining. My name is Raul Nistal, also known as Small Biz Profit on Instagram and YouTube, Associate District Manager for ADP Miami, Florida. Here's a quick clip on how ADP can benefit you and your small business during this time.
Your employees is easy when you're using Run powered by ADP. Just click on Run Payroll on your Run dashboard. Then Start Payroll to move through the quick process. Review your employees' time cards and click Next. Need to make a change? You can edit any of the pre-populated fields, then hit Next. If you're interrupted, you can always choose Finish Later. Review any consultants you might have, and then click Preview Payroll to check that everything looks good. If it does, click Approve, and you're done. You'll see confirmation that your payroll has processed, including the total cash required and check or direct deposit date. From this screen, you can view your payroll summary, details, or reports too. And for businesses with all salaried employees or hourly employees with the same hours each week, Run and Done can help you save time by automating your payroll. Just click on Run and Done Setup from your Run Home menu to get started. Now that you have a little more free time you're not spending on payroll, you can get back to your insanely great business.
Alrighty then. A little bit about myself before we get into the updates of the PPP. I focus on helping small businesses nationwide with everything that has to do with payroll, workers' compensation, 401k retirement, health and benefits, and human resources. There's no such thing as too small of a business for us. We work with one-man shows to numerous amounts of employees. The reason for these videos are because I am constantly being updated from the government, the IRS, and the Department of Labor to be able to make sure that your business is protected and in compliance. I share these videos with all of my CPAs, clients, and bankers. So please make sure to like, subscribe, and follow, and share this video if you or your partners need to be updated during this time. So if you're new to what's going on, the CARES Act, which stands for Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act, was just signed by our president March 27th of 2020. Today what we're going to be doing is going over a little bit further of the PPP program. Okay, there was another video that I did earlier on and it was brand new. All this stuff is just coming out, so there was only very basic information on it. Today we'll be covering the section 1102 of the CARES Act. We'll be explaining the guidance that was given out. We'll also be going over the application and calculations. We're also going to be covering all the documents that you need to have when you apply for this loan. That way you're prepared with everything that you need to have to be able to apply for this loan. Also, there's going to be descriptions below where you can find all this stuff, okay? Today we'll be checking out the treasury.gov website. But don't worry, I'll pull it up for you guys on the screen so that way you guys can stay connected and you can see exactly what it is that I'm seeing. Okay, let's go ahead and pull this up. Okay, so this is the Treasury website and you're gonna click on the red bar that says for small businesses, click here. That's gonna take you over to the assistance for small businesses. So we're gonna go ahead and scroll down, zoom in here for a little bit, and we're gonna click on PPP Borrower Application Form. Now highlighted are a couple of key points so you guys can follow along a little bit easier. It's a $349 billion loan that can be forgiven if you meet certain requirements. We'll be going over those soon. Now, this is $349 billion. It's a first come, first serve. So once it's gone, it's gone. Also, everyone that applies for this loan is basically in the same boat as far as terms of the loan. It's 1% at 2 years time frame. Now, what do I have to do to get this loan forgiven so I don't have to worry about that 2-year time frame? You have to use this money to cover payroll costs, mortgages, rent, and utilities over an 8-week period after the loan is made. So that means you have an 8-week time frame from the day the loan is made to be able to generate all these reports, because let's face it, you're gonna apply, but not everybody's gonna receive the money all at the same time. So from the day the loan is made, you have 8 weeks to start gathering all the reports that you need, like payroll, mortgage, utility, rent, etc. Now, when calculating the amount that you can use for payroll, that is up to $100,000 per employee. Okay, so if you have an employee that is earning $120,000, he's gonna be capped at $100K. In other words, you cannot take $10,000, okay, as their monthly average over 12 months. That would be $8,333, because $100,000 divided by 12 would be $8,333.
What the hell did you just say?
If I lost you there a little bit, please don't worry about it. I'll explain this a lot more in detail a little bit further down in the video. Okay, so when can I apply for this loan? Starting April 3rd, small businesses and sole props can start applying for this loan. And then by April 10th, independent contractors and self-employed individuals can start applying for the same loan. Now, I personally would try to apply to these as soon as possible, because banks and credit unions are still gonna take their time to process these applications. So contacting them, getting the application is steps that you still need to take. So I would get this done as soon as possible. But again, these videos are my own opinion and my own opinion only. They're not necessarily ADP's, but I will get this done right away. All right, let's jump back into the guidance. The guidance is asking, what other documentations will I need to include in my application? You will need to provide your lender with payroll documentation. Now, I'll go more in depth in all the documents that you need to gather in just a minute, so you can move forward with the Paycheck Protection Program. Now, we already touched base on this a little bit, but obviously what's in payroll cost is salary, wages, commission, and tips. Everything is capped at $100K per employee, but you want to also take into account benefits for employees: cost of vacation, parental, family, medical, or sick leave, allowance for separation or dismissal, payments required for provision of group healthcare benefits, including insurance premiums, and payments of any retirement benefits. I think that's very exciting because of the fact that you can now take insurance premiums and payments for any retirement benefits into consideration. And that's also for employee deferrals and as well as employer deferrals. This also goes for SEPs and IRAs. Now, highlighted in the blue is for sole proprietors and independent contractors. You'll have wages, commission, income, or net earnings for self-employment. That's also capped at $100K. For my sole proprietors, my independent contractors, and my 1099s, this does get a little bit more tricky because of the fact that you have to work out your profit and loss on your own. So that means that you're gonna have to go through all your expenses and figure out what you're gonna write off, because remember, every time that you write something off, you're reducing your net profit, which is the amount applied for in this application. I always suggest being a W-2 because of the fact that you're paying your taxes little by little, number one, and number two, you're not paying that much tax. The only difference here is that yes, every time that you pay yourself some money, you're gonna be taxed on that money. But at the end of the day, that money that you're paying yourself is used as a credit towards your gross income because of the fact that you're paying the taxes on it little by little and you're becoming a W-2. Regardless you're a W-2, regardless you're a 1099 independent contractor, our platform has already been set up with a Covid-19 tab to be able to provide you the documents that you need, and these documents that are being asked from you by the banks and by the credit unions. For those of you that are a W-2 and you are with a competitor, chances are they haven't updated their system yet. The way that I can help you out there is basically bring the balances over that you have with our competitor into our platform, so that way when you are asked for these documents, you simply go to our COVID tab, you click there, and the documents that you need to are going to be generated and ready for you to either print out or import to an Excel so you can email to them. Just wanted to scroll down and show you this section really quick, guys. No collateral is required, no personal guarantee is required. However, if the proceeds are used for fraudulent purposes, the U.S. government will go after you. Other than that, make sure to certify that you're using this money to maintain payroll or to make mortgage, lease, or utility payments. Now, I'm going to pull up the application here in just a second. If you want to find it again, remember, it's right down in the description below. But before we do, I really want you guys to take in and just plan for your business. This is a great loan. This could help you get through a really difficult time right now, help you with payroll, keeping your employees, keeping your business going, but you still want to take a look at the cost later on down the road, because at the end of the day, if you don't get this forgiven, you're gonna have to pay this back. If you reduce your staff, if you reduce your payroll, then you won't be 100% forgiven. But it's still an amazing loan because of the fact that it's at 1% for 2 years to pay it back. Now, as you're filling this out, you're gonna be asked for documentations. Please The last thing that they want to see is you show up with a stack of papers from your cousin that's an accountant 3 houses down from you. Make sure that you're providing the documentations that they're asking you for, and they're crisp and clean. And what I mean by crisp and clean, I mean you're basically providing professional documentation from a professional outsource. Now, the real reason why we're here today.
You mind if I drive? I know a shortcut.
Yeah. Okay. You might want to buckle up.
All right, let's go ahead and pull this Treasury website back up, and we're going to scroll back down, and you're going to go to the PPP borrower's application form. Go ahead and click on that. Now, you might see different forms of this, but I suggest that your best bet is just to print this out and fill it out on your own. That way you're ahead of the ball. And when you first start filling this out, in the first box that we have here, you're going to check the one that pertains to you. I'm going to be filling this out very generic. You're going to want to be as detailed as possible. So make sure that you're putting in every little detail. For business address, you're going to want to put your primary address that your business is registered to. For business TIN, EIN, and Social Security, I would suggest putting in your EIN number. But if you have, if you're a 1099, you're an independent contractor, then yes, I would put your TIN or your Social Security. Make sure that you put the best phone number here to contact you at. Okay, now when we get to this part, we have to go into a little bit more detail. Okay, so let's calculate that out. That way we know what to put in here. If you have 2 employees, you have employee number 1 and employee number 2. Employee number 1 makes $120,000. He's gonna get capped at $100K. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take that $100,000 and you're gonna divide that by 2, which gives you $8,333. Okay? Now, employee number 2 makes $60,000. You're gonna be able to use the full amount of that $60,000. You're gonna divide that by 12, okay? So 60 divided by 12 will give you $5,000 a month. So again, given the calculation that we just did, you're gonna put here $13,333. Now, if you're one of those that did apply for the EIDL, you would also put that here for whatever amount that you were approved for. Let's say in this example, it was $33,333. You're gonna wanna put that there because the EIDL has a higher interest rate, okay, than the PPP. So the money that you were approved for in the EIDL, you're gonna wanna put here and refinance it because this is only at 1%, okay? Now, that calculation is the most important calculation on the entire application, okay? The bigger the number, the bigger the loan. So make sure that you guys are gathering all the documentations that you need and being able to calculate this out correctly. And for the sake of this video, I'm gonna put here 2 employees because that's what we're saying. Make sure that you're gonna be using this for either payroll, lease, mortgage, interest, utilities, or other. Here, again, you're gonna put your name. You're gonna put the title. You're gonna put ownership, EIN, and then again, address. So then we're gonna come down to the second section of page 1. In this section, if you do say yes to any of these questions, your loan will not be approved. So make sure you're gonna read through these, and if they apply to you, you push yes or you push no. Same thing for this one. If yes, the loan will not be approved. So make sure that you're reading these and you're being honest on these questions. Here you're gonna put your initials. and then keep scrolling down. Make sure that you're reading these questions, guys, because these questions are pertaining to you and your business. And you're basically going to initial the rest of these. Your signature is going to go right here, and that finalizes the application for the PPP. All right, so now that we've learned how to fill out the PPP for your small business, quick disclaimer here, guys.
This video is for education and entertainment purposes only and is not a substitute for legal, accounting, or any other professional advice. If you have any questions, please consult with a professional service provider. And again, these videos are my own opinion and my own opinion only, not necessarily ADP's. I
hope you have gotten the chance to enjoy this video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow. And please share this with anybody that you know might need our help when it comes to filling out these applications during this time. Thanks again.